The State Museum of Applied Arts and History of Handicrafts is located in a historic mansion, the so-called Polovtsev's house, which itself is a unique artistic object of Tashkent. The history of this museum is closely connected with the names of famous folk masters from Uzbekistan, as well as with the names of the Russian diplomat, orientalist and a collector Alexander Polovtsev and his secretary Mikhail Andreev. Before we talk about his unique collection, let us go back to 1896. A representative of the Russian noble family, an official on special assignments from the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Russian Empire, Alexander Polovtsev, arrives in Tashkent from St. Petersburg. A member of the Turkestan Archaeologists Club, he begins to collect embroidery, carpets, and ceramics. As he arrives in Uzbekistan and sees traditional art and architecture, he gives instructions to design his residence in the national style. He entrusts this work to his secretary, Mikhail Andreev, a well-known expert in ethnography and history of the region in Tashkent. In addition, Mikhail Andreev had a good command not only of Uzbek, but also Tajik, Kazakh, and Arabic. This helped him to attract the best masters of that time, from Tashkent and Bukhara, the Fergana Valley, and Khwarezm, to work on the interior and exterior of the Polovtsev's house. Monumental doors decorated with magnificent carvings, made of the solid wood of plane trees, lead to the main hall, the Mehmonkhona of the mansion. This is the work of the famous Khiva master, Usta Ata Palvanov. They are magnificent museum exhibits. The wood painting works were supervised by Tashkent master Usto Alimjan Kasimjanov. Usto Rauf from Uretube and Usto Hassan from Bukhara worked under his leadership. Decorating the Mehmonkhona, the masters adhered to the traditional techniques, which they used to decorate the interiors of rich houses. Most of the wall surface is divided into exquisite panels and niches. They are decorated with paintings and ganj carvings by famous masters, Usto Tashpolat Arslankulov and the Bukhara master who became a classic of art during his lifetime, Usto Shirin Muradov. The lower part of the interior of the Mehmonkhona consists of mosaics made by Rishtan ceramicists. In 1902, the reconstruction and decoration of the building was completed. However, Polovtsev himself did not live in Tashkent for long. In 1906, he was assigned to Bombay and left Central Asia forever. Up until 1910, his relatives continued to live in this house, and then the house was resold more than once. The Museum of Applied Arts and History of Handicrafts is a museum with a complicated history. During World War I in 1916, Austrian prisoners of war exiled to Tashkent and were housed there. In the 1930s, the building became an orphanage, then a pedagogical college, and a school of factory training. And only in 1937, by a special decree of the government, a museum of handicrafts was opened here. The museum's collections were constantly growing through addition of works of art, artifacts from previous centuries, embroidery, jewelry, carpets, and works by modern masters of decorative and applied art. Today, its collections and expositions contain more than 7,000 exhibits dated from the 3rd century to the present day. These are 20 collections of almost all types of decorative and applied art developed on the territory of Uzbekistan since ancient times.